thank you. According to a new Harris poll, 2/3 of Americans believe younger people face hardships today that previous generations didn't. So even more disparaging, 65% of Gen Zers and 74% of millennials say they believe they're starting further behind financially than earlier generations at their age. Jen Burke from the Maine Credit Union League is here to chat with us about these findings and maybe offer some advice on what parents with young children and young children can do now to prevent kids from feeling this way when they kind of grow up and get into adulthood. Yeah. That's got to be really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are really disheartening. But when you think about the realities of what these millennials and Gen Zers are facing, you understand why they feel the way they do. And a big source of that disparity has to do with student loan debt. Millennials in particular carry most of the burden of the American student loan debt here in this country. The average millennial has about $42,000 worth of student loan debt. So when you're looking to want to buy a home or purchase a car and you've got that much debt, that load really adds up and really carries a burden. There's also housing. Whether you want to rent or purchase a home, the cost of housing is so high and it's hard to find. It's hard to find affordable housing whether you want to purchase a home or rent a home here in Portland or elsewhere. It's hard to find. It's taking more out of folks' budget each month. And lastly, credit card debt. And I don't mean to pick on millennials, but they carry about $4,300 worth of credit card debt. And you know, when you think about what they're paying in interest each month, it's just so hard to pay down that debt when interest rates are as high as they are. So there's a lot of factors that are making people feel the way that they feel financially. And so, you know, the results of the poll, while it's disheartening, it's certainly not surprising.
Right. So given all of this, how do we reverse the trend? So can parents do something now to help their kids?
Absolutely. So as a mom of an almost teenager, you know, you want to make sure that when they reach adulthood, they're on the best financial footing possible. So the number one piece of advice I can provide is to establish a next-gen college fund. Mainers are so fortunate that if you have a baby, you know, born in the state of Maine, you can get $500 just for opening a next-gen 529 account. So if you haven't done that, do that for your child. If you're planning to have a baby soon, open an account. Contribute to that account because the next-gen accounts go toward paying for secondary education expenses. So it pays for college, helps pay for college. I also would encourage you to put a savings account together for your child or open up a CD. You know, interest rates are high on credit cards, but they're also high for savings accounts. So you can get more for your money if you're tucking, you know, even $10 or $20 a pay period aside for your child. It really will add up, especially when they're getting into adulthood and you can provide those funds to them. And then lastly, talk about money. There is a big taboo still in this country about money and finances. Have open, honest discussions with your youngsters. Start talking to them early about the importance of savings and discovering what the difference is between wants versus needs. You know, good fiscal habits start young, and you know, little kids are always watching, so you know, they'll model after what you're doing. So open up the dialogue.
Yeah, and you can make it fun. You know?
You can make it fun.
Yeah. All right, Jen, thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate you coming on. Good tips.
Thank you.
And now here's a look at what else is coming up today on Channel 8.